Hello YouTube, this is Engineer Pat 5290 coming at you, and tonight I'm doing a locomotive showcase of all the locomotives I have for my HO scale collection. A couple of these I have done some reviews, but for some may have not have seen all of the units. But tonight I'm going to take some time to show you what they are. Personally, I like EMD GM power over General Electric units. EMD has been one of my favorites for a long time, and that's what I like to collect here. So, first of all, we're going to start off with this Bachmann Norfolk Southern SD40-2. This is a standard DC locomotive. It runs great. It's a beautiful unit. I got this from a friend of mine's train shop a few years ago. It's a very quiet runner, good lighting. Instead of some of these locomotives had the bright white lights, this one has a bright white light, and it's one of the best lighting in this locomotive. It runs great, it's quiet, and you can barely hear it, but you can see the trucks are nicely done, and so are the steps and the handrails. And of course, the builder's plate is there, and so are the fuel tank stuff is also printed, and also some labels on around the engine, like fire extinguisher and danger high voltage there. So that's the Norfolk Southern for you. Next we have the CSX SD40-2 made by Bachmann with DCC onboard feature. This unit is very awesome. It runs great. The paint jobs on both of these locomotives are good. This is in the YN3 paint for the ones of you who are not familiar with CSX. This is the YN3 dark feature paint. YN3B has also been out a few years. It's basically the same paint with the boxcar around the CSX logo. This unit is good. It's got the builder's plate and some fuel tank readings there, as you can see with this camera. This unit is really good. Even the trucks are nicely done. If I turn it around to the back is also nicely done with a backup headlight, and also the classification lights are also painted on there, and those do not light. It lacks a little bit of detail as far as like MU hoses and stuff like that, but it's a Bachmann. It looks really good. The horn is nicely done too. It blends really well with that white roof. Only wish if Bachmann would put the sunshades on top of the units. So that's the SD class. Here we come down to the GP class. Next we have this chassis system GP40-2 by Bachmann with DCC on board, and as you can see, it's XB&O. As you can see, all three of those units have separately applied sand fills where they load the sand into the locomotive. This unit here is a good runner. It was one of my first units. As you can see, I'll let you look at the front of it. The front is nicely done with the logo. The chains are molded on, but I can take that. The fuel tank is not badly done here, but wish a little bit more separately applied details would go into that. So let me turn it around to the back. The back is nicely done, but with no back number boards there. Do not ask me why Bachmann decided not to do that. But all three of these, the SD class has lighted number boards, while this one here does not. Only the headlights there light up. So that's the chassis system GP40-2. Next we have another one of my favorites. This Conrail GP40-2 made by Bachmann. Lacks some more detail, but it's a really nice unit. It runs great. It sounds great running. And as you can see right on the front, it has lighted number boards with a separately applied horn and separately applied sand fill. Wish the Conrail on the front was a little bit different. But of course it's in the can opener scheme. And the back is like the GP40, it just doesn't have the back number boards. But even the tops of the units are nicely done as well. I'm going to give you a top view of all the units in my Bachmann class. So anyway, that is my Bachmann fleet of engines for DCC and DC. Now next is one of my Athearns. It's a Union Pacific GP38-2. This unit here has separately applied details you can add yourself, but I decided not to do it. This unit was in a set from 1996. Never was taken out of the box. I got it from a friend of mine. I put everything together, and it was ran just as good as new. And it's got great lighting and great sound. You know, just running. It's just a standard DC locomotive. It runs great as well on the track. So that is my GP38-2 by Athearn. And now we come to the F unit class. Move these units down a little bit. Next, first we have the CP-F7 dummy. I'm not sure who made this, but let me see. RSO, it looks like. It's an F7 dummy decorated for CP rail. I love the front of the unit with the red and white stripes. I also love the 1980s zebra stripes on the back. That's always a nice touch. These are just dummies. I just got them from somebody who was just kind of, you know, didn't want them, so I just figured just take it. So the horns are broken off, but I'm not too worried about that. So the next is the Canadian National dummy, also made by RSO. I love CN as well as one of my favorite Canadian railways. And as you can see, it's got the zebra stripes on the sides, which look exactly original, number 9176. As you can see, there's the door on the back. There's the other side. And one of the horns broke off, but that's the way I got it. So those are both very nice little F units, you know, run around your layout, especially with the Union Pacific. They both run well, and I'll use these two in contests. And next was actually my dad's unit. This Santa Fe red and silver C30-7 made by Bachmann. As you can see, it's an older unit. It ran great for a long time according to my dad, but I later turned this unit into a dummy just because it was so old. Figured it was time for it to run in contests, so I took out all the gears, all the motorized stuff, and also I disconnected the board and made it into a dummy. I love the red and silver, and I love the Santa Fe. So there's the side of it for you. Doesn't have a lot of detail on it, but it's a nice little starting unit for people who are just like trying to get into the hobby. But it's a nice one, of course. And of course, all of you have seen my Athearn ready to roll Amtrac P42 DC, which was full of detail. I did a full detail on this video. On one of the other videos I made, I apologize, but it's done that with my CSX40-2 as well. But just showing it to you again, so let me bring it up here in the light. Just pick it up and let y'all take a look at the side and the back. This is a very nice Athearn model. I personally like Athearn and Atlas as well. Most of these manufacturers, I mean, you can pretty much find these anywhere. But this is my locomotive collection as of right now. I've had these units for a long time, especially these four right here, and the Amtrac and the Santa Fe. But just want to give you another view of them for your enjoyment. But I will be making videos of some of these in action. I mean, I've already done, especially these three and the Norfolk Southern. I will be doing, I even did one with the UP, but I'll try to get these three dummies in a contest soon. And what I'll do is I'll try to make another video and let y'all see the dummies in action and, of course, the Amtrac. So, anyway, that's my little locomotive showcase. Just want to do this in review. So, if you guys have any questions about my locomotives or want to tell me what your favorite locomotive is out of the 9, please leave me a comment in the description box. I'll be glad to take your comments. It's 9 units here. Please feel free to vote for which one you like. So anyway, that concludes this video. I'm Engineer Pat, and I will see you next time.